Hello, everyone. This is Cris from Texas School, and I'm joined once again with a fabulous instructor for the Texas School 2026, Alison Carlino, and her class, Quality and Quantity, Connecting High School Senior Portraits, Sportraits, and Volume Sports Team. So welcome to Texas School Off the Record, Alison, and spending some time with us this morning.
You're very welcome. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. So Texas School's coming up April 26th through May 1. You've been an instructor there for many years. I know Alison Carlino. Some of the listeners may know Alison Carlino, but if you're looking at Texas School and you're not familiar of who this person is, give us a kind of a little bit about you. Put your great career into 60 seconds. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can. Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me again. This is one of the highlights of my year. I truly am a teacher by heart, and I enjoy seeing students that are able to take things and put them into play right away. So this is always my payoff, is to hear how their businesses are succeeding. This is my almost 23rd year in the industry. So I'm excited to have been here this long and still making it happen. And
Yeah.
we're hiring more staff and expanding right now and going through growth. And so it's only looking great for our business, and fortunate is to be in Texas. So I'm a Texas girl now. I've been here for 22 years, Louisiana by birth. So I truly love what I do. I left the fourth grade classroom as a teacher with a master's degree to come and take
Okay.
my children and stay home with them. And of course, started taking photos of them and realized how badly fast that I needed help. And then gathered all the education that I could. And here I am all these
Yeah.
years later. So I still love to teach. That's who I am.
Yeah.
I love lighting. You won't find me very far without some kind of strobe or grid or modifier. And I love going on location to be challenged. I didn't have a studio all my years, so I truly understand what it's like to be indoors and out.
Yeah. That's great. I didn't know you were a fourth grade teacher. I might have missed that part of your past. So that's fantastic. So the classroom is home to you. So
Yeah.
and I know with a camera in your hand is home too. So speaking about cameras and going on location and understand that, um, tell us a little bit about your class. Like what's a day in your class look like? I know it's 5 days and every day you have crafted different, but what could a student expect in your
Yeah.
class?
Yeah. Um, I do believe that they would expect to be on location a lot with me. Word has gotten around that if you are one of those that doesn't like to stay in a studio or behind a screen the whole time, I push you into challenging situations such as harsh midday light and force you to create in them, because it's realistic to have a headshot that only has noon available, and you
Mhm.
have to figure out how to handle that. And so I love indoor locations as well, when we do our athletes and we're challenged usually with ugly looking gyms that we have to make something of,
Yeah.
as well as grunge locations like garages. And so we're all over the place with locations. And so if you're looking for location work, this is the class for it.
Yeah.
Um, yes, so off camera lighting and location.
Yeah. And so students bring your cameras, be prepared to photograph and actually work real life. They're not just watching Allison work, they're getting their hands dirty, so
Yes.
to speak. And
Yes, and we've already called all of our class, and we've already had a pre-consultation with them at this point to understand what gear they're coming with. And so they know that they need to bring lighting, and they need to bring their cameras, and they know they need to bring a lot of rest and energy to the class. If you are just beginning into Flash, though, that is why I'm calling you, to find out what you have. Maybe you have one light and you're looking to move to two or three, and that's something we can talk to Arlington Camera about and get. So don't be afraid to look at it from that perspective. Let me talk
yeah,
to you about it.
yeah, that's great. Well, I had a question like why you? There's some other lighting classes, at Texas School. Um, I think you've already answered this. What makes your class unique? It's a lot of different locations, and your
Yeah.
title mentions, connecting high school seniors and volume. So can you kind of
Yes.
expand on that? Because when I hear volume, I might think preschools or school districts, or can you
Yeah.
help us with that a little bit? Because it's
Well,
four.
there's four major bubbles that I talk about how they fill our calendar all year round, and they're all dependent on each other. And I've jumped in at this cycle anywhere.
Mhm.
Whether you start with a volume sports team and you are in front of priceless marketing like high school seniors to book their style session,
Mhm.
those two you're missing the chance to advertise to these people. So if you're in front of a sports team, you could book senior portraits. If you're booking a senior portrait that this kid happens to be an athlete, you could book their sportrait. And then you can make a sample portfolio out of this to pitch to a coach. And I'm going to show you how to do that to make this work for you all year round.
Yeah. So
It's a cycle.
what
Yeah.
is a sport trip?
It marries the sport athlete part of the session with what you know about lighting and posing on a portrait session. So I am telling you, if you are not doing sports yet and you're in the wedding and portrait world and you've got lighting and posing down, you're
Mhm.
just waiting to break into that. And I'm going to show you how. Your skills as a like paying attention to the details on a woman, on a bride, they're going to
Yeah.
transfer over to a high school senior that's standing there with a volleyball in front of their body. You're
Yeah.
going to know how to pose them, how to straighten the hair, fix the outfit. You're going to care about details like that.
Yeah.
And that's the kind
That's
of person I think takes my class is maybe somebody who's dabbled a little bit in sports, but hasn't quite broken in and they don't know how to yet.
okay.
Or maybe someone that needs to be challenged and then taken to different locations to show what they can and can't do.
Yeah. You know, a lot of sports are different. So you could probably, someone that plays volleyball, you might pose them different than someone that plays soccer, for example, right? There's different
Absolutely.
nuances to make this, to make it look believable.
And we're
Uh,
going to run through traditional to dramatic lighting too. We're not just going to take the team and package shot for mom. I'm going to expand on that, go to the social media images, go to the colored smoke images, go to the gels and the colors that tell the story of their school.
wow. Man, I think I might want to take your classes.
It's jam packed
Yeah,
for
it sounds
sure.
like it's jam packed. Lots of quality education, lots of fun,
Yeah.
working with each other and working with groups. And um, it sounds like you also build a great community. You've already started, talking to students that have signed up this year.
Yeah.
I know you're eager to talk to the new ones that are going to join before Texas School to build that community. And that's just part of the Texas School. That's what makes Texas School unique is that all of our instructors, I mean, do this, and Allison does it even, so well is just brings a culture. You build a community within your class that
Yeah. And
that
those
is,
private Facebook pages that we have with my class, they're still open from all these years
yeah,
and people post their successes and gear and it's so fun to see people. And I've
yeah,
got a lot of Houston folks that come down and assist me and just watch the chaos on a day. I welcome that with my students.
that's
So,
fun. That's great that you're there and you're available. Um,
yes.
and what I love about you, Allison, is you don't teach this from a place of like, well, I've done this and I'm at this. Like, I'm still a working pro and I still deal with the same. I know you still do the same
Yes.
struggles and that everyone else is dealing with, right? The
Live,
change.
eat, breathe,
Yep.
for
Yep.
sure.
So that's what I love about your classes. You're doing the same work. You're telling your students that they can be successful because you've walked it and you walk the talk and do that.
Yes.
So, um, so this kind of can be esoterical, it could be philosophical, or it could be practical, or all three. So after Texas School, it's a crazy time, right? It's a fun time. There's lots of learning. There's lots of different things you're supposed to do with Allison's class in different locations and working with your camera and your lighting and talking about different markets. And there's parties and all the things. But then you get home, right? Texas School ends and the adrenaline comes down and the high goes away. And now you're faced with real life again. Right now, we got to make this work. So tell me someone that took your class, right? There was a student with Alison Carlino. What are they going to be able to do a week after Texas School, or how's their life looking different than it was that
Yeah.
Sunday night when they walked into your classroom for the first time?
Such a solid question. Such a solid question. One of the very first things is you will have images and a marketing plan to pitch to a coach. Ready to go. Ready to go.
Mhm.
And so if you're wanting to get into teams, even if it's just small scale, not large scale like us, you will have a plan ready to go and images to back it up with.
Yeah. So during that week in the class, you're preparing them for the week after too. Just is
Yeah.
that what I'm hearing? Like,
Yeah.
so they're
And it's
creating.
perfectly timed because it's not a good time to they're not in like if you're looking at volleyball, football, and dance and all that, they're not going to rejoin teams until July. And so
Mhm.
you now have all of May to get your act together and put things together, get a pitch together, and start making some samples with athletes. Find these people over the summer. It's a perfect time
Yeah,
to make your sample pack. And so Texas School falls naturally with that.
that's great. That's great. So Um, kind of as we close, we wanted to keep these little talks just nice and concise. Is there anything else that you would want to tell a student that's like looked at the Texas School website and maybe is looking at different instructors?
Yeah. Something I do that I don't know that anyone else does, and I've done this for years, is I do a private Q&A sign up time with my students. And so for 15 minutes, sit there, literally ask me anything. If it's to recap something you need to hear privately, great, we'll do it. If it's to ask me, how do you expand your business and hire employees? Maybe it's something I'm not covering in the class. Let's pick my brain. Let's do it. And so these private Q&As have been just perfect. I
That's great.
love hearing what their needs are.
Yeah. Well, I think it's so nice that you do it privately because, some students may not want to be that vulnerable in front of a
Yeah.
classmate and that you give them that opportunity just to,
Yeah.
to learn and grow. And that's the culture of Texas School. So many instructors and students, you'll hear them say it's a week that'll change your life. And, I may be biased as a student and a volunteer and an instructor and now the director, that I've seen it change my life in different ways.
For sure.
But it truly is, that's not just a cliche. That's really the fact about it. So I know, Allison, you brought a lot to that culture and we appreciate that. So
you're welcome.
Where can people find you on social media and website?
Instagram, Facebook, Carlino's Photography. Yeah. And it's a known fact that if you contact me, I'm going to answer you. That's one of the ways you get business, right? Is to make sure your emails and phone calls are answered in a 24-hour cycle. So I do answer all my emails. That's great. So, well, Allison, I appreciate your time today. Just a reminder, her class, Quality and Quantity, Connecting High School Seniors Sportraits, and volume sports teams. Still got a few spots left in her class for Texas School. Again, it's April 26th through May 1. You can learn more about Allison, her class, and the entire Texas School experience at texasschool.org. Thanks again for joining us. You're welcome.